Hey, so I have a question for non-Americans. How come only Black Americans owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Jamaicans don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Brazilians don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Colombians and Black Panamanians and Black anybody else, how come they don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come when people from any other country who are Black tell you, I'm from Panama, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Dominican Republic, wherever it is, how come you take them for what they say when they say it, but when a Black American says, I'm American, you ask them, okay, but where are you really from? Why are you always calling Americans dumb when you don't understand the transatlantic slave trade and you don't understand that all these people came on the same boats, just on different stops? And on top of that, how come a Black American who has been here since, I don't know, the 1500s, how come they have to be from somewhere else in Africa? But if a white American whose grandparents came here in like 1920 from Italy says that they're Italian, you're like, no, you're not Italian. You're American. You're not Italian. How come that Black American can't just be American? Please get back to me.
And a lot of brothers and sisters are not only saying, hey, that's not our issue or problem, but they're also remembering how a lot of the immigrants in general have talked real down to FBAs and also other Americans. They called us all kind of names about the way we work and all kind of other things, like they doing us a favor by coming over here. I want you to hear what this sister has to say.
I'm talking to all Americans, okay? Taxpayers. This is why I always say with ICE and DHS, this is not our fight. Let them do their job. Because if y'all see and hear the things that these people say about America, especially Black America, the things that they say, they talk about our American kids like they are zombies. They act like they not even worth getting a job, going to school, nothing. And I keep trying to tell y'all, they never liked America. They are here to use us for our resources. I saved every clip. I saved every comment. And it's thousands of them. Thousands. And I'm telling you, what they said to me was way worse than what Black or white in America had ever said to me.
They sit up here and tell us, we're building your country. We're building your homes. We're doing it like, wait. Why didn't you build those homes and build the country that you came from? You're swinging a foreign flag in America. But yet when Donald Trump and them want to give you a ticket to go back to the place and you waving the flag, right? You don't want to be there. You're fighting not to go. In LA, I'm looking at some of the live streams. They coming out protesting and they're swinging a Mexico flag, not an American flag. Not saying, hey, man, I contribute to this country as much as anybody else. I'm an American. No. They're not swinging an American flag. They're swinging foreign flags. And like I said, I don't know what is it in their heads that say that's good optics, but that's people that don't understand optics either, right? Because they never had to. If you want to stay somewhere, then you say, I'm a part of that nation. You don't be swinging another country's flag, because that makes the people of this country say, oh, well, yeah, you need to go back over there then.
Honestly speaking, why do a lot of immigrants always have issues with Black Americans? Like, it's really time we talk about this. We really need to understand why a lot of immigrants have so much to say about Black Americans. And if you check a lot of the times, they do not have so much good things to say. A lot of them always want to say something towards the Black community, towards Black Americans. They want to say everything, and it's really getting annoying. Because why do you always want these people to come out for you when a lot of people haven't even been coming out for them? These people have been fighting on their own for so long. They have made their voices by themselves. And from nowhere, you want to come out and you demand for them to speak up for you without considering if you've been giving them the respect that they deserve. Like, what is it with immigrants always having so much to say about Black Americans? Like, we need to have these conversations. We need to understand what Black Americans did to immigrants. Why do immigrants always have Black Americans in their mouth every single time? Right? Like, you are asking them to help you out with the whole deportation, but you are not even saying it nicely. You're not even asking them nicely. You are literally demanding it from them. You're saying that they have to do it and all that. No, they do not owe you anything. They don't. If they have to do it, they have to do it because they want to do it. You don't come out and demand things from people, especially a full community. And at the end of the day, when it's checked, you don't even have anything nice to say about them. What did Black Americans do to you guys? right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to let the rest of the videos play out while we listen to people talk about this topic, talk about what they think and their own point of view. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments in the comment section. Alright, remain to the original creators of these videos. Let's watch.
We appreciate that. We appreciate it, but African Americans have always
That's
been
right,
hardworking.
Godfrey.
No, African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know. But opportunity. What about the appreciation of the hard work for the immigrants who came to this country?
There
and were
we
hard?
go. What?
The thing is the Civil Rights Bill is the reason why our
Period.
parents got to come over here. 1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was one of the most racist sons on the planet, had to sign that civil rights. Well, you know, Martin Luther King is sitting right next to him. Right, yeah.
Period.
So that is the reason why Koreans can come here.
Clock it.
Koreans, Indians,
Clock
Arabs, Nigerians. It's because of the Civil Rights Bill.
Right.
It's because of African Americans, foundational black coming
Black
in here,
Americans.
busting their ass, being treated like shit,
Right.
being hung, lynched. Jim Crow,
Right.
from slavery was Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction, being promised that they were going to get this, fighting every war. They've been, black people fought in every single war and still being disrespected, not being able to buy homes.
Right.
You understand? Burning up of black towns. And people go, well, why ain't they? They saw opportunities. There
So
were
then
black,
where's the
there were
disconnect?
black Wall Streets. There were black banks, black
Tell
hospitals,
'em,
and they
Godfrey.
came and burned it.
Black excellence. There's
They black excellence. They
yeah.
came and burned it because a white woman said somebody never did.
First and foremost, Godfrey is the type of Nigerian that you give some coochie to, all right? He got my vote. No, all jokes aside. But he gets it. He gets it. He gets it. The other guy talking about but what about the appreciation for the immigrants that come over here and work hard? Why do we need to appreciate immigrants for coming over to a country that we built and working and adulting? What do we need to appreciate that for? How does that benefit us? How does immigrants coming over here working benefit us? What do we need to appreciate? And then it really gets me when you see immigrants like Nigerians and Indians and all of these other immigrants that immigrants built America. Y'all didn't start coming over here in mass until the 60s. So what the fuck are we really talking about here? What do we need to appreciate you? This man is Nigerian. Sir, you definitely didn't build America. Like, it be that part for me. It's the cognitive dissonance. It's the disconnect. And for him to, like, they continuously want to discredit black Americans. Like, they keep trying to, like, censor themselves and, like, put themselves on the same level. It's like, you didn't put you're not on the same level. You did not pour into this country the same way that black Americans did. You just did not. And if you want somebody to respect you and appreciate you, build up where you come from and allow us to come over there and have a place to migrate to successfully. Create a successful infrastructure, create a banging ass economic base, and let us come over to where you live. Then you will get the type of respect that you feel like you deserve in America just for coming to a country that was already built by people that literally had to suffer and pour their blood, sweat, and tears into this country, literally, for you to even be able to come over here. And we owe you thanks and appreciation, yet y'all be acting like y'all have no grace for us. It literally, y'all would rather unalive yourselves than to say black Americans built America. It's like a sickness or something. I don't know what this is. I really don't know, but we supposed to appreciate immigrants? What the immigrants? What y'all think? We supposed to appreciate the immigrants? The immigrants did something for us that I don't know about outside of trying to undermine us, tell us we ain't got no culture, work for dollars on a penny. Like, this is not me saying that they didn't add, but what do we need to appreciate? All right, bye. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Because what did they do for us? No, they need to appreciate us.
Why are black people saying this is not our fight making you upset? I've seen video after video from Latino creators or Latino people coming online pleading to black people to put our bodies at the forefront of this fight against illegal ICE raids, against deportation, against roundups, against undocumented people being rounded up and families being disjointed. But there's several reasons as to why you should not be shocked that black people are sitting this one out. You guys all remember that this is a subset of your community last year. You're also aware that across the board, overwhelmingly black people voted in favor of the candidate that had black interests, Latino interests, Asian interests at heart. Where if you look at the sentiments of what that vote represents, half of your community voted for this. Half of your community said F you to black people. Half of your community said, we don't care about you. Half of your community said you wanted to be white aligning and white adjacent. And now you're being reminded of the fact that you're not. We have to have the ability to hold multiple truths when we speak to each other as communities. The truth is that Latinos are not in a monolith. It's just an all-encompassing umbrella that they put you under. And that, yes, majority of the people that voted for Donald Trump and were doing that were Cuban and were other people in different parts of the country, and undocumented people in Mexico, in California are being impacted by that. That is true. But what's also true is that there is a history of black people fighting and being at the forefront of civil rights in this country since the inception of civil rights in this country. And it's always been pushback and non-solidarity from multiple communities who are voting and always going against black people. So this particular time when black women especially really came out in droves and really fought forward with our votes, and you guys didn't do it, your community didn't do it. It's like, why would I fight now? Why would I fight now? So I just need you, like, if you're gonna come online and make pleas and ploys to black people, because I've seen so many videos, start by acknowledging the fact that your community has colorism, anti-blackness, and voted against your own best self-interest. Start with that. Don't come in here and ask black people just to put our bodies at the forefront of the line, because we've been doing that for a century. Secondly, I think the majority of black people who are saying that they're sitting this one out are using their voice in other ways or having solidarity with you in other ways, but they're not going to protest. They're not going to go get hit by rubber bullets. They're not going to put themselves in harm's way or make that effort again, because you guys, it's time for you to fight for yourself. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense for you. Now, there's also a bunch of black people online who are asking black people to come out and fight for everyone, and everyone needs to fight, and this is our fight as well. While I do agree with a lot of those sentiments, because if they're doing it to brown citizens, they can do it to black citizens, and they can use the Congo and Haiti as an excuse to just racially profile all of us. That's very true. But you have to stop telling black people to put themselves on the line when black people are exhausted. Black people are exhausted. Black people have done so much for all communities in this country. At a certain point, there has to be a time where they need to rest. And right now, a bunch of people are resting, and that's fine. But there will always be people in our community who fight. Like, I'm using my voice every fucking day on this app. I've made an update about every single thing going on with ICE raids, locations, where they are, what's happening with Trump. I do it every day on my social page, and it's exhausting. Like, I'm actually exhausted. Today, I put up like 10 posts. I'm exhausted, but I'm doing it because I know my voice has reach, and I know that people need to hear it. And that's my personal choice. I'm not doing it because I feel obligated. So stop trying to make people feel obligated to put themselves on the line again. I say that to say it's a lot of fucked up shit happening in this country. I know that people and families, I was in tears last night seeing people self-deport themselves and people getting rounded up, grandfathers and grandmothers and abuelitas getting taken away, who are the people who are the fabric of this city in LA. But I just know that it doesn't end here, and there are black people on that list. There are black countries on that list. There are black countries on that list, and I'll say that to you again. There are black countries on that list.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really, really bothered is, where are y'all Black Lives Matter people at, man? When y'all needed us Mexicans and all my peoples was there, standing, marching along with y'all right there, ready to take out whatever needed to be done. So now where y'all at, man? This is real talk, man. Get off the man. Where y'all at, man? This is real talk.
The black community, or any historically marginalized community, does not owe anybody anything. Standing in solidarity with each other, being there to support one another, is not transactional. We're not doing it in exchange for their support. We do it because it's the right thing to do. People should stand in solidarity with migrants because it's the right thing to do. We support movements like Black Lives Matter because it's the right thing to do. There shouldn't be any expectation to receive anything in return. We We should also add that there are migrants that are black who are also affected by everything that is happening right now. We should not erase that they exist. And also, black Americans are not a monolith. There are hella folks that are standing in solidarity with us, have always been standing on business when it comes to supporting us. Sure, there are black Americans that are in support of deportation, but they do not represent the majority. There are also brown folks, Latinos right now celebrating the deportations, and they don't represent all of us. This is not how you do a call-in. And I don't know who this individual is, but you need to do better. And to the full community that posted this, you all need to do better too. Because even if y'all didn't make the video, you all need to be responsible with the content that you are posting. Pero familia, what did I miss?
So pretty much every marginalized community has been going through it under this second Trump administration. If you ever feel the need to tell a black American descendant of chattel slavery, hey, they're coming for you next, or we're all black and, this applies to you. And, first it was the Mexicans, now it's the Somalians, next it's the black Americans literally are not immigrants. You would not go to Jamaica and tell a black Jamaican and say, hey, they're coming for you next. The Jamaican would literally look at you and say, okay, and where are they going to send me? And there just seems to be like a lot of pushback to the black American community, especially from members of immigrant communities who are saying, oh, well, you're not helping us in this fight. You're not being, more supportive. And well, that's fairly selfish. And it is selfish, but not in the grand scheme of things. And when you consider all of the other very pressing issues that myself and other black Americans continue to face and hold on our backs from day one, when we did what we were supposed to do overwhelmingly, which was to vote for this not to happen, especially in the context of situations or circumstances that are very much one-sided, and the group or people that needs the help is the one that's likely going to face the most blowback, or they have the most to lose. And I didn't say that, I personally wouldn't express concern or help in other ways, but I'm not going to be the face for immigration. Not only are we rightfully being selfish in this, but two, black Americans, we have a history of helping people, and whenever the results are actualized, we're oftentimes the first people to get burnt whenever we help other people in their fights or for their causes. You would not tell one of the Aboriginals in Australia or the Tasmanian people, hey, yeah, they're coming for you next. There's a reason there's no other country before American, and it's a color, black Americans. Black Americans, if you send us anywhere, you might as well just choose which part of the United States you want to send us, because we're truly born, bred, and as I said before, beaten on this land. It is our home. It is our birth country. It is our ethnic land. Not even in the same way as many white Americans, because truly, black Americans, descendants of slavery, our DNA was truly shaped and altered, created. It began here through centuries of racial admixture and forced brutalization. So, yeah, this is black Americans, black America, Americans. You can't send us anywhere else. And we will be your allies in whatever way we can, but the moment you start trying to loop us in with your strife to basically make your messaging stronger or more resonant, that's just where I have an issue, because that's not only dangerous, it's very inefficient. Like, this is when your communities need to start coming together and being strategic and fighting back in a way that prioritizes your people and also is legal within the United States.
You know how people are always expecting black Americans to help? And at the same time, people rarely help them, because they are the ones who literally do everything for themselves. They stand up for themselves. They make their voices heard by themselves, right? Well, we have comments in the comment section to talk about this. So let's head down to the comment section and we'll read what other people have to say. So someone said, I think it's unfair to expect black Americans to automatically mobilize every time another community forces an issue. Black Americans have their own long history of fighting systematic injustice in their country. Solidarity is powerful, but it can't be demanded. It has to be built on mutual respect and shared effort, right? The next person said, some immigrants are frustrated because they feel alone right now, but anger directed at black Americans isn't productive. Coalitions don't work when one side feels blamed. If they are going to be solidarity, it has to be reciprocal and consistent, not just during moments of crisis. Like, why do you always come to them when there's an issue for you? You do not even want to create a relationship with these people. You just want them to stand up and help you whenever you ask them to help you. Make that make sense. Anyway, the next person said, it's complicated. There have been moments in history where black activists stood in solidarity with immigrant communities. There have also been moments where immigrant groups stayed silent on issues affecting black Americans. People remember that trust takes time to build, especially when communities feel they haven't always supported each other. Yeah? The next person said, black Americans are not a monolith. Like some are speaking out against deportation policies, some aren't. And the same goes to immigrants. Painting entire communities as silent or uncaring just deepens division. These conversations need to be talked about instead of generalized. Okay, the next person said, I understand why immigrants might feel abandoned, especially if they believed there was a shared struggle against systematic inequality. But frustration should be directed at policies and lawmakers, not at another marginalized group. Fighting each other only benefits the systems people are protecting against. Okay, the next person said, solidarity isn't transactional. It shouldn't be, we matched for you, now you must match for us. That mindset turns justice into a scoreboard. Real allyship is built on shared values, not obligations. Because right now it's beginning to sound like an obligation, like black Americans have to do it for you. Oh, we did this for them, we did this for them, they have to do it for us. Like, who made those rules? Who said that? Who is insisting on that? Like, the fact that black Americans are always fighting for people's rights and all doesn't entirely mean that you can demand it from them. It doesn't mean that they have to stand up for people they do not want to stand up for, or they have to speak when they do not feel they have to speak. You don't demand from people. If you need help, you ask nicely. You don't just stand up and demand and make videos on social media saying black Americans are helping us, black Americans are standing up for us, they have to stand up for us, they have to stand with us against ICE, they have to do this. Why? Why do you have to say it like that? Why can't you just speak to them nicely? If they want to, they would. And if they do not want to, they do not owe anybody anything. At least that is something everyone should understand. Right? Well, the next person said, there's also historical context. Black Americans have dealt with centuries of racial injustice in the United States. Some feel that immigrant communities have not always acknowledged or supported those struggles. That history affects how people respond today. Whether that's fair or not, it's part of the reality. The next person said, immigration enforcement affects black immigrants too. Caribbean, African, Afro-Latino communities, the idea that this is a separate issue doesn't always hold up. There's overlap that people often ignore. Instead of arguing over who should speak up, maybe the focus should be on the shared interest. The next person said, social media amplifies anger. A few loud voices online can make it seem like entire communities are furious with each other. In real life, most people are just trying to survive and handle their own responsibilities. The outrage narrative doesn't always reflect everyday reality. The next person is saying, it's important to ask, what does speaking out even mean? Protesting, posting online, calling representatives. Some people may be quietly supporting immigration reform without being visible about it. Silence on social media doesn't always equal indifference. The next person is saying, the kind of tension highlights how fragmented conversations about race and immigration has become. Instead of comparing struggles, maybe communities should focus on policy goals, fair enforcement, due process, humane treatment. Blame doesn't move legislation. The next person is saying, at the end of the day, anger between marginalized groups often distracts from the larger systems at play. Whether someone is black, American, immigrant, or both, most people are navigating economic and social challenges. Solidarity is strongest when it's chosen freely, not pressured out of guilt or resentment. Like, if they are going to do this for you, they have to decide to do it freely. You don't demand things from people. You do not demand things from people and expect them to go in accordance to your demands. Right? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop your comments in the comment section because I'd like to know what you all think too. Okay? Alright, remember the original creators of these videos. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.